Yes, lads, what's happening? Welcome to the 34th episode of the Little Running Irishman podcast. I am the Little Running Irishman, Killian Sheeran, and yeah, for any new listeners out there, welcome to the podcast. I know since the Eastern Arid episode went up, we got a lot new listeners. That's something I wanted to mention, the Eastern Arid episode. Thank you guys so much for all the support on that episode. I got so many texts on Little Running Irishman, the official Instagram, straight to my DMs. All support saying how good the episode was, and well done for being able to get Eastern Arid on. And I really enjoyed having him on as well. I couldn't believe he actually came on. I've watched Easton for years, even before the podcast, and I never thought I'd be able to get the chance to actually talk to him. So, yeah, I'm really grateful for that. It was a great experience, and apparently you guys enjoyed it as well. And as I said, welcome all the new listeners who are listening to the podcast now because of that Eastern Arid episode, or maybe because of the Leo Dashbot episode, or just you stumbled across my podcast. Welcome all the new listeners. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and click that like button and the notification bell, because on the YouTube channel we post everything from podcasts to vlogs to challenges to reviews. So yeah, make sure if you're watching it on YouTube, hit that bell notification button so you'll be notified when episodes and other videos go up. Also, if you're listening to this on Anchor, if possible, there's a little button that says listener support. Click it. You can donate 99 cents, $4.99, or $14.99. Any donations that are possible are highly appreciated, and they all go back into the quality of the podcast. As you know, Sunday's episode, we talk about my week of training. We have the question of the week, my favourite segment. And yeah, just Sunday is a bit of a shorter episode usually. I know it is just a great, it's just a great refreshing episode over how I done in that week of training. So, as I said, I did want to talk about the Eastern Arid episode, which I did. Thank you guys so much for the support on that. It's currently on over 30 plays across all platforms, and also over 30 views on YouTube, getting like 2 subscribers from it. So, if possible, if you know someone else that likes running, or just one of your family members or friends, please share it on my page and that episode. It'd be highly appreciated. Also, another thing I wanted to mention is, if you follow me over on the Little Running Irishman, the official Instagram, I posted up that, and also on my TikTok, I posted up that I created a done deal account. Also, earlier this morning, I set up an adverts account. If you don't know what they are, they're basically websites that you sell stuff on. Basically, like, it's basically an Irish eBay. I know eBay's all worldwide, but yeah, no, adverts and Dundee are mainly Ireland based, especially Dundee. What I have up there right now is 2 computer parts from my new computer that you've seen. It's a GTX 1030 2GB graphics card, and NVIDIA graphics card. Banging graphics card, doing me well. I'm just, I literally just got it in April, May, June. The middle of June is when I got it. Actually, I have on my calendar here, it arrived on the 3rd of June, so just a little over a month old. So yeah, it's a bang graphics card. The reason I'm upgrading is not because it's not working well for me or anything like that. It's just because basically the build that I have now, and this is for anyone that is thinking about building a PC, or wants to get into maybe PC gaming or whatever. The build that I have now, it is cheaper to get this build, sell the parts in it, and then upgrade with separate parts. Obviously, you can just You can just build your own computer and get the parts online separate, but it'll actually save money by selling the parts on now than actually building my own computer. But from any website that I seen, the website customPC.ie, where I got this computer, I looked up the build with all the same stuff inside my computer in the build that I researched, and basically yeah, it's with the same parts that I have, except for the CPU and graphics card, it comes to over €900. Don't worry, this is all coming out of my pocket. My mum and dad obviously offered to help. I said no, I wanted to do it myself. Obviously, if you donate via via listener support. It helps a ton for making this kind of stuff possible. I appreciate everyone that has donated. But yeah, back to the computer. It's like now like $9.50 on custompc.ie where I get my computer. And I'm getting it for like $7.50, so nearly like 200 to €250 in my pocket, better in my pocket than custompc.ie's pocket. If you're watching this, make sure to sponsor me. I'd love that. That'd be banging. Everyone, if you're watching this, especially if you're watching this, email them. I've emailed them. No reply back. Just chance my arm. You never know. That would be a banging sponsorship. If you're watching this, custompc.ie. Make sure to hit me up over on Little Running Irishman, that official Instagram. So yeah, back to done deal. I have the NVIDIA 1030G, 1032 gigs graphics card up there, and I also have a AMD Athlon 3000G CPU up there. Same reason, nothing wrong with it. It was bought the exact same time as the graphics card. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Banging little cheap CPU. If you're looking for one, or you're starting up basically getting into PC gaming or building your own computer, these products are a serious price. $75 for the graphics card, it's negotiable, and also $45, which is also negotiable, for the CPU. So yeah, if you're looking for them, go over to adverts or done deal, and yeah, pick yourself up a bargain while helping your boy out. The next thing I want to talk about, which I'm super excited about, is I have a track season. Now I know I mentioned this in a few episodes, and especially last episode I was talking about it, and I wasn't too sure if it was 100%, but it is now 100%. I have got a track season. So I have it here in front of me. My first race is not Tuesday coming, Tuesday after that. Tuesday, July 14th, is basically these things called the Club Championships. It's just within the Clonliffe Harriers. Anyone can run them within Clonliffe Harriers, and it's basically just to get the break down the cobwebs after that racing for a while. So my first race is July 14th, Tuesday, July 14th, Club Championship 800 meters. Just to let you know, I'm not looking forward to that race. I am absolutely diabolical at the 800. I just don't have the speed and legs for it. I'm more, as you know, into the longer distance stuff. July 16th, Thursday, July 16th, 2 days later, is more of my range. I have a 5K. What is wrong with me today? 5K Club Championships. The lads are saying, so when we went back training, I was like, oh lads, look, I have the best 5K PB out of everyone here, just as a mess. And then Killian Keegan, who was on the podcast, was like, oh, I can't wait to get into this 5K and break Killian's PB. So me and him definitely going head to head in training. A bit more on Killian later on when we get on to Tuesday's episode, so make sure to stay tuned for that. That Thursday, then the Wednesday after it, there's these things called the Dublin grade. It's basically, if you play like soccer or football or whatever you call it, or Gaelic or hurling, you know, to get into a division, usually you play grade matches. So you play grade matches, and then however well you do in them grade matches determines on what division you go into. Wednesday, July 22nd, Dublin graded 200 and 1500. There's also field events there as well. I am not doing them grades. I'm not too sure why, because it's getting too close to my Dublin Championships. Then the following Tuesday, so this is the following Wednesday, and then after the Wednesday, like Tuesday, like the end of July 28th, is the Club Championship 1500. Now I'm not doing this. I'm doing the Club Championship 805k, but I'm not doing this 1500 because it is only like 3 days. It's 3 days away. It's 3 days before, my Dublins. The Dublins basically are. It's like over in America, for anyone in America or anything listening to this, because I know we have listeners and viewers from America. Basically, it's like this state meet, and then you go on to like nationals, so like All American. Same here, Dublin's is like the state meet, and then All Ireland is like the nationals. The Dublins and the nationals are only for under 17s and up to under 19s. So obviously because of the restrictions, you can only have a certain amount of people. So obviously under 16 and 17 is kind of when you start taking it serious. But under 17 is just the start of like the serious running. So that's probably, I think, anyway, they're starting with the under 17s. And that is on Saturday, August 1st. That is when I am, hopefully, there isn't a program out yet still. I'll keep you guys up to date on that on the podcast and also over on Instagram. Hopefully I'll be running my first ever steeplechase race there, and then on August 1st. Also then August 5th, 4 days later. Oh no, I thought I was going to do this, have a circle, but then when I spoke to my coach then that evening at training, he said I wasn't doing this because it was only 4 days after my Dublins. Also, because if I do well in that, I'll go on to All Ireland, so I want to get recovery in and be fresh. So Wednesday, August 5th, I thought I was doing another graded race. When I say another, I'm actually not even doing a graded race. So I thought I was doing a graded race, 3K, but I'm not. Then from Saturday, August 1st to August, August 26th, we have August 29th, sorry, and August 30th. There's the National Juvenile under 17s to under 19s National All Ireland. So hopefully I'll be there, and hopefully I'll be running steeplechase. Hopefully it's in the program. I was told by one of my mates that it was an open program, so every event, and yeah, hopefully it is it is an open program, and every event is being held, so I can do the steeplechase. Bit more on the steeplechase a little bit later in the episode, but that is pretty much all I have to talk about before we get into this week of training. So let's just jump straight into it. So Monday, as you all know, is a 45-minute run. Basically just a recovery run, really. Sorry, I'm just on my phone here because I never actually got the weather up. So Monday, 45-minute run, as you all know, as I said, 9.22k, 4 minutes 53 seconds per kilometre, or that converts to 5.73 miles at 7 minutes 51 seconds per mile. Decent run. Didn't feel the best, but I kind of pushed a bit. Do you ever get one, like, it's especially after Sunday being kind of like a recovery? I know I do the session now, the steeple, but with it being recovery, I don't want Monday then to be another recovery, even though I have the session on Tuesday. So even if I don't feel the best on Monday, I kind of tried to push it to, like, not where I'm dying, but where I'm getting a good solid run in. So yeah, didn't really feel good, but yeah, I kind of pushed just to get a solid run in. Last Monday was a 45-minute run, also 9.24k at 4 minutes 52 seconds per kilometre. So it was 1 second faster last Monday, so that converts to 5.74 miles. This week was 5.73 miles at 7 minutes 51 seconds per kilometre. Last week was a very solid run, felt pretty good, happy with it. Moving on from Monday, we have Tuesday's session, back on the track once again on Tuesday. So when I arrived, we done a few hurdle drills, then we went out and done a 15-minute run. Came back, done some more hurdle drills, some stretches, got the spikes on and done some strides. We done a 12 by 400 meter session. I was averaging about 74 to 75 for each. Sometimes it was 73. Maybe one was 76, but no, really solid session. Clocked a 67 on the last one. Remember when I said, when I was talking about the 5k club championships and Keego wanting to beat me in the 5k? Basically, me and Keego had a pretty solid session this Tuesday, and I was kind of taking off him a little bit during, like, I was kind of like letting him take the wind over the course of the session. Still putting a solid effort in, but going along really nicely. And then the last one, the lads kind of know me and Keego for kind of pushing the last one pretty hard. Now, Keego's the one that instigates it. If he didn't push, I would just go steady and get a solid, steady session in. But the fact that he did, or not even Keego, if anyone was to push, I would definitely try and stick with them. So that was what happened. Keego said before the last rep that he was going to try empty the tank. He done exactly that. Me and him, basically the lap went, we were beside each other for the first 100. Then coming into the back straight, Keego kind of started not to push away, but he kind of started to try and make a move. I was still breathing down his neck. Now keep in mind, I was out not in lane 2, but he was on the inside of lane 1 and I was on the outside of lane 1, and we started at the exact same spot. So I feel like if I was in lane 1, maybe I could have got the dub here, even though it's only a session, we're not racing. But no, we were just pushing each other pretty hard. Coming into the final straight, Kigo was maybe not like just in front of my shoulder really, and then coming off the final bend into the final straight, I started pushing hard. Well, both me and Kigo started pushing hard. He was still a little bit ahead. I got up to him, and then coming 5-10 meters from the line, we were literally like that. If you're watching this, if you're listening to this, we were literally neck and neck. We were literally like right beside each other. So yeah, maybe if I was on the inside, I would have taken the dub there, but you never know. After the session, we done a 15-minute jog cool down. Yeah, so class session. Yeah, really enjoyed it. Last Tuesday, same 15-minute warm-up, drills, stretches, strides. Also a 12 by 400 meter session. 73 to 75 for each. So yeah, about exact same really for this week and last week, except last week on the last rep I clocked a 69. This week I clocked a 67, and it was a very controversial 69 because it could have been 70. I don't know. I said it was a 69, but this week it was definitely a 67. Tuesday was a class session. Really enjoyed it. Moving on from Tuesday, we go on to Wednesday's 45-minute run. It was really, oh my god, I'm so stupid. I haven't been saying the weather for, I didn't say the weather for Monday or Tuesday. So Monday was today is the 5th. So Monday was the 29th. It was 14 degrees Celsius with 80% humidity. So, yeah, no, it was grand weather for the run. Pretty, not too hot, but pretty humid, so it wasn't too cold either. Tuesday was 15 degrees Celsius at 85% humidity. So yeah, once again, not too hot, not too cold, but pretty humid all the same. So it was pretty warm. Just so I don't forget, Wednesdays, it was 14 degrees Celsius at 92% humidity, but it was lashing rain. I didn't mind it. It kind of felt nice on my legs and all, and jumping and running into the puddles. But yeah, it maybe slowed me down a little bit, but no, I felt grand in the rain. So Wednesday's 45-minute recovery run after Tuesday's tough session was 8.65k at 5 minutes 22 seconds per kilometer, or 5.38 miles, at 8 minutes 37 seconds per mile. As I said, solid run, went slow for recovery. After Tuesday was raining, but yeah, really solid run. Comparing this to last Wednesday's run, it was 8.38k, and this week was 8.65k. Yeah. So yeah. Last Wednesday was a decent run, felt okay. I remember it wasn't the best run, but yeah, this week definitely felt better. Moving on from Wednesday's run, we are once again back on the track with the team doing a speed session once again, like we done last Thursday and the Thursday before that. Actually, we done a 6 by 200 session. Get a bit of speed work into the legs, up the pace, as the kids nowadays say, and just to get the legs ready for races. Basically 15-minute jog warm up, came back, hurdles, stretches and strides like always when we're on the track with the team. We done I got 31 to 32 for each, and then we done a 15-minute jog cool down. I remember I definitely felt a lot better this Thursday than last Thursday. I was getting 31 to 33 last Thursday, but no, this Thursday was definitely a better session. Moving on from, actually, I nearly forgot again. Thursday's weather was 16 degrees Celsius at 86% humidity. I should be getting called the weatherman for all these Sundays episodes, because that's literally what half the episode is, me telling the weather. So, moving on from Thursday is Friday, which is a rest day. What did I even do Friday? Oh yeah, I went to my mate's house. That's why I done, played a bit of football. My mate is injured, so I was playing football, he wasn't, but I was just checking up on him there. Now it was fun. Moving on from Friday, we move on to Saturday's session. 15-minute jog, warm-up, stretches and strides. No hurdle drills because this was out in the park beside the club. We done for the session 4 by 1200 meters on the pad. So I was wearing the Nike Zoom Streak 7s. Review coming soon. I'm telling you, review is coming soon. It is in the making. Do not worry. Of all the information I need, just still making the review and getting a few shots of the shoes for the review, but it is coming soon. So I didn't feel great in the warm-up or the strides. I felt pretty stiff from Tuesday, even though I stretched and foam rolled on Friday. I didn't feel great on Saturday at all. Well, in the warm up, I felt a bit better when we got into the session. So the first one was a 4:28 1200. Me, Keogh, and my mate Johnny, we took this pretty steadily. We went along nicely. Just to get into a bit. Actually, this is the first time we've done this session, so we didn't really know how well to pace it. But no, it was a decent session. It was tough, but it was solid at the same time. The second one was much faster. Me and Andrew took it out pretty hard on the second one. I felt much faster at 4:06. I wasn't really ready for that kind of drop, and not that it took an effect on me, but I definitely felt it over the second one. It didn't really play a part in the rest of the reps, but it definitely did. It did. I definitely felt it, putting it that way. I definitely felt it on the second one. Moving on from the second one, which was 4:06, we move on to the third, which is 4:26. Again, a good bit slower. See, it's completely, it's fluctuating quite a lot. 4:26, so 2 seconds slower than the first one, which was 4:28, but 20 seconds slower than the second one, which was 4:06. So pretty mad. On the fourth one was a 4:06 again, 20 seconds faster now than the third one. Because it was the last one, the last one, like on the 400s on Tuesday, the last one generally is quite faster, because one, you've no rep after it, so you're just emptying the tank, and two, you kind of want to just get it over, you're just emptying the tank. After the 1200s, we done 4 hill strides, which were so fun. I know hill strides don't seem to be the most fun thing in the world, but these actually were, because we were starting kind of on a muddy patch, and Friday and Saturday were both raining, so yeah, it was quite wet. And when Mick would blow the whistle for us to go, everyone would kind of slip and take like half a second longer to actually start, because you kind of had to start twice, because you'd be standing right, and then you would slip for the start, and then when you get your grip back, you'd start again. So nearly like a second before Mick would actually blow the whistle. We probably should have tried start, and then he'd blow the whistle, and then we'd be able to start straight away. But no, they were solid, got a bit of speed and strength into the legs after the session with the hill strides, and they were definitely fun. After the hill strides, we done a 15-minute jog cool down. Yeah, solid session. Didn't feel the best going into it, but got it done, and as I said, solid at the end of the day. Saturday was 20 degrees Celsius with 77% humidity. It started raining on and off a little bit, but no, it definitely was quite warm nonetheless. Can't compare this to last Saturday's session, because that was 10 by 400 on the grass. But yeah, no, this Saturday was definitely a solid session. Today, Sunday, once again, run and session. Back doing another steeplechase session. If you follow me on TikTok or Instagram, you will have seen a clip from this session. Basically, not from the run, but from the steeplechase session on the track. So yeah, the first bit of my run was 40 minutes. Last week it was 45 minutes. It was 6.95k at 5 minutes 51 seconds per kilometer. Last week's 45-minute first part of this run was 7.76k at 5:34 per kilometer. So yeah, it was a bit faster and a bit longer, but I did do this. The first 40 minutes I done with my mate. I done it with Johnny, so that made it a lot easier as well. Then after that, I went on the track, done some stretches, strides, drills, and jumps. Stretches, strides, drills, and jumps to warm up before this 5 by 400 meter with hurdle session. I got 85 for 4 of them, and then I got 84 on the last one. Solid session, really enjoyed it. Really happy once again to be getting back in into the swing of steeplechase, because hopefully I am racing it this track season. Last week with the 4x400 meters with hurdles, so one less. I got 88 on the first one, 84 on the second, then 82 on the third and fourth. So yeah, maybe they'd average about the same because of the 88 on the first one. So yeah, 2 solid steeplechase sessions consecutively. Then after that, we got out the barrier. Basically, yeah, I'm really hyped about this. My coach Stephen got out the barrier for me, and my teammate that we're on the steeplechase with, he got the barrier out, but there was a bit of a problem with it. It is not that it's kind of old, but it's kind of gotten a little bit rusty maybe. There's like two bolts in it that you can't take out, like they're not hand screws that you can take out. And then it just the height of the barrier, they had to be like taken out with like a wrench or something. So we couldn't really get it properly down to the height that I needed, that I'll be jumping for schools and club, not school, sorry, for club track. So we got it was kind of uneven because there was 2 bolts in each end. There's obviously the pin that you take out, and then it should fall down, but it didn't because of the bolts, obviously. The left side, there was only 1 bolt. There should have been 2, but there was only 1. And then there was 2 bolts in the right side. So the left side came down a little bit lower than the right side. It took some effort to get it down. Yeah, it took some effort to get it down, but we did get it down reasonably to the height of the hurdle, the height that I'll be jumping. So the left side, I kind of had to run, not jump over in the middle, jump onto the left side. We had it at the sand pit, so it was basically as if it was the water jump. So on the first one, I cleared it thinking it was, not thinking that it was the one for the water jump, thinking it was just going to be a normal barrier jump. Because the thing is, with the water jump, you have to actually clear something. With the normal barrier jumps for the rest of the lap, you can just like jump and then land straight in front of it, but you actually have to clear the water jump, obviously, for that barrier. So then my coach told me that to actually get up onto the barrier and jump off it. So then the second jump was me trying to get up onto the barrier and jump off. As I said, it still was a little bit too high. But the first time, especially with the spikes, because I thought the spikes were kind of gonna slip off and it made me all off balance, but they didn't. Except for the second time, the first jump that I was actually jumping onto the barrier, it was a bit of a confidence thing. I wasn't really like, I was a bit nervous for it, to put it that way. And when I got onto it, I kind of stood on it for a second and just like stepped off. I was actually really scared. I know that makes me sound like a bit of a wuss, but nonetheless, then the third time came around. I got up, and the jump off wasn't the best, but I got up, so it was progress. Then I'd done it like 6 times, and by the 6th time, I had made considerable amount of progress. And yeah, now I love the barrier jump. First time doing it, and yeah, I really did enjoy it. Second part of the 60-minute run was obviously 20-minute cool down run. I done this on my own. It started lashing rain during it as well. It was 3.38k at 5 minutes 14 seconds per kilometre. That is equivalent to 2.10 miles at 8 minutes 25 seconds per mile. Solid runs and solid sessions. Really good day today. Moving on from the talking about the week of training, basically we move on. Wait, could I compare? Well, this actually I forgot to say, it was 17 degrees Celsius with 63% humidity today. So yeah, it did start raining on and off like 3 times, but it was pretty warm when the sun was out. But it was really windy. Once again, it seems to be every Sunday gets really, really windy. I'm not too sure why. The home straight and went out on the run with my mate Johnny for the first 40 minutes was super windy, and it definitely does affect the times of the session. So I'd like to see how I do without the wind. But I can't really. The second part of the run last week was 15 minutes, so 3.39k. This was 3.38k for the 20 minutes. At 5.48 per kilometre, so that's equivalent to 2.11 miles at 9 minutes and 19 seconds per mile. So once again, 2 solid Sunday runs and 2 solid steeplechase sessions consecutively once again. Moving on to total distance this week. For kilometers, it was 41k on the dot, and for miles, it was 25.47 miles. Solid distance nonetheless. But yeah, we are focusing more on track and speed work at the moment. So especially like usually I have maybe a 50 or 45 minute run on Thursdays, but now because we're doing 200s, it's like it's substituting out the run really, because it is essential for the track, for track basically. So that is why the distance may be a little bit smaller. And we've changed from 50 minutes to 45-minute runs now on Mondays and Wednesdays, because it's just basically recovery runs after the sessions, just so we don't burn out basically. Also, I'm not including warm-ups and cool-downs for the total distance, so that obviously if I would increase the total distance for the week, but nonetheless solid distance overall. Moving on to, once again, my favourite segment of the Sunday episode is Question of the Week. This week's question was asked by a lad who used to be on my running team, still is with the club, but he is now a sprinter. And he asked, what is my favourite event? And to that, I say 5k. Now, I know there's 5k road and 5k track. As I mentioned, I'm running the 5k track on, let me get the date back up for you now again. I'm running 5k track on the 16th of July in the club championships. Now, if it was to pick between track or cross country, right now I'd pick cross country, because I haven't actually raced track too much, and I've never done anything over 1500 meters on the track. So as of right now, I prefer the 5k on the road. But you never know, after the 16th of July, I might prefer the 5k on the track. Stay tuned to hear an update on that. But yeah, I just feel like I have the speed and endurance for the 5k on the road. Definitely have the endurance and then have that bit of speed to get a solid time and performance over the 5k distance. So yeah, 5k is my favourite event on the track. Leave down in the comments below, or if you're listening to this episode on the podcast, leave me a text over on littlerunningirishman.official Instagram to tell me what your favourite event is. Cross country, road, track, or not even running, any field event. What is your favourite event? Or if you don't do athletics, what is your favourite to watch in like the Olympics, World Championships, Diamond League, or any competition at all? So leave that down in the comments, or give me a text over on the littlerunningirishman.official Instagram. That pretty much wraps up this short episode once again of the podcast. Sunday's episode, as I mentioned at the start of the podcast and pretty much at the end of every Sunday episode, is that it's usually a shorter episode unless I have something specific to talk about. Obviously, I have the question of the week, and I spoke about Done Deal, spoke about the Eastern Hour episode, my week of training, and also my track season. So yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube and you enjoyed it, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell to be notified when podcast challenges, reviews, or any other videos go live. So yeah, make sure to hit the notification bell. Also, as I've mentioned over the course of this episode, I do have a TikTok. It is called Little Running Irishman. I've been posting quite a lot on there lately, so go over there, give me a follow, give my videos a like. I'd highly appreciate that. I deserve more hype over on TikTok. Do not care. No, but I'm only messing. I really do enjoy making them right now. Also, give me a follow over on the littlerunningirishman.official Instagram to be kept up to date with the stuff behind the scenes of the podcast, and to be notified early on when the episode will be going live. So make sure, give me a follow over there. As I mentioned at the start of the video, Done Deal and adverts accounts made, graphics card and CPU live over there now. Graphics card €75, it's an NVIDIA 1032GB, and the CPU €45 is an AMD Athlon 3000G. So go over there if you're interested in building or upgrading in a computer. So yeah, and you'll also help me out as well in upgrading my computer and making the quality of the podcast and other videos in the future better quality basically. Also, as I mentioned before, over on Anchor, little button that says listener support. 99¢, $4.99, or $14.99. Any donations are highly, highly appreciated, and as I said numerous times, they all go back into the quality of the podcast. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this shorter episode of the podcast. If you did, subscribe and like, turn on the notification bell, and yeah, hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye.